Okay, let's hop over into Europe and something handcrafted. Keep watching. Hello, welcome back. It's GotAUkulele review day as ever. The summary video review to the full written review with the pictures, the scores, more detail. You'll always find linked below these videos in the description box. There's also some links down there where you can do what these people have done. This is my weekly thank you to these people who've donated to help keep this site going, because I don't get paid by brands or stores to say nice things. That would just be adverts. They would be pointless. They would not be reviews. So I can only do this with the thanks to those people. And if you want to help out, you'll find some links down there where you can do the same. It would be very much appreciated if you like this content. And if you like this content, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. This really helps out as well. It gets the videos out there being visible. So hit that button and subscribe if you like this content. Right, moving on. Yeah, it's every so often I get sent an instrument from a homemade builder, and they're usually very humble people who start with emails saying, oh, I'm just a hobby builder, it's just a bit of a sideline, I'm a bit worried about this one. Usually what happens is they arrive and I'm absolutely, the jaw hits the floor and you go, God, you are really talented people out there. And this is one that's arrived. I was contacted by a guy called Gustav Vettermark, who builds under the brand name Bagarmossens Ukulelemanufaktur. He is from Stockholm, southeast Stockholm, a district of Stockholm called Bagarmossen. So a European builder, and he builds very, very low volume, a handful of instruments a year. Of all scales, I believe, likes to build Sopraninos, and told me that he'd finished a Sopranino that he wanted me to have a look at and sent it over. It arrived. This is the Bagarmossens Ukulelemanufaktur solid walnut Sopranino, handmade near Stockholm in Europe. All solid walnut. As I say, he's a low volume builder, and he explained that this one is a bit of a, he threw the kitchen sink at it in terms of specs. He had some nice wood he wanted to use. He usually builds with lower specs from things like cherry, lesser tuners that's on this, we'll come on to that. But this wood was available to him and he really wanted to build it, and you'll see more about that in a moment. But yes, it's a Sopranino, it's a 12-inch scale instrument, so not the smallest sub-soprano I've ever played. But smaller than a standard soprano, which is normally 13 from nut to saddle. So 12, a little bit skinnier. Certainly one of the skinniest front to back instruments I've played. This is very diminutive, and it is cute, cute, cute. It's all solid wood, all solid walnut, and that's top, back and sides are solid. What he does, from looking at some of his pictures, is a little bit of an unconventional build, or a very old-fashioned build. The sides are pretty thick. They are a block routed into a ring, a solid ring, rather than bent sides. And then he puts a top on and a back on. I think Orville Gibson used to build like that, the original archtop guitars before Gibson was a brand itself, when Mr. Gibson was building them. Yeah, interesting. We'll see how that sounds. I'll come on to a little bit more about the construction with the neck in a moment, but that's it. Solid top, solid back and sides on this ring of sides, or walnut. The bridge is rosewood. It's a through bridge. Some people saw the sneak peek pics, thought it was a bit big. It's not big, because this is a tiny little instrument. It looks absolutely fine. It's finished really nicely and shiny, fitted with a straight topped bone saddle. Now the decoration is going to take a bit of explaining. From a distance, you think, oh, it's got black edge banding around the top and back, and that's what I thought. And then when you get into it and you start getting the light right, and the focus, please, Baz, come on. What this is rope binding, which is piece, alternating pieces of ebony, and a supply of very red rosewood he had, which when the light hits it, the red really glows, the black stays black. It's lovely, look at it. So it's rope binding, but it's not rope binding until you get in and look at it or catch the light right, and it all starts to look almost like tortoise shell in pieces. It's really, really beautiful. I love that a lot. There's more of that coming as well. Right, okay. Inside, really simple. There's no linings because those thick sides, the braces look fairly standard. If you're thinking that top is thick, it isn't. That's a strengthening ring around the sound hole edge. It's a very thin top, actually. Yeah, and then the body is finished in a hand-rubbed shellac finish. That means shellac, natural beetle shells, isn't it? Or something like that. It will wear down over time, and then you can re-shellac it. French polish, basically. Nice. I've got instruments that are shellacked. Very, very traditional indeed. Cute, cute, cute. Sorry, also on the body you'll spot that's a jack socket to a passive pickup, a spot transducer in there. He's a man after my own heart. No weight of batteries, no extra wiring, no control panels, nothing to go wrong. Just a passive pickup, plug it in, put it through a preamp or into an amplifier. You'll get sound out of it. Nice choice. Okay, the neck is made of walnut too, and at first glance when you look here you think, oh, is that just a natural extension of the body? Is it all one piece? But it isn't. You'll see the jointing here. When he makes the side rings, again, I'm guessing here from looking at his pictures on his Instagram, I think the ring and then the neck is block is built into that outer ring, and then the top and the back go on. So very secure, not quite a dovetail, but that kind of thing. So that's really nice. But I love the way it looks like it is all just sort of part of the body. That's finished in the same shellac. It's got a wonderful extended veloute stopper up here. I love this sort of carving. It's a 35mm nut, which is skinny, but this isn't a soprano. You see those a lot on sopranos. This is a Sopranino, so I suppose it's quite wide for a Sopranino. I've seen wider, and I find it a bit skinny. 35-27 between the outer strings, so it's at least they didn't go smaller, and he didn't go 34 or 33 or something horrible. It's a 35, so it's comfortable for a Sopranino. He's topped that with more rosewood, and again, this has got subtle decoration to it. So subtle you might not even be able to see it. You've got chevrons of black and the red ebony there that when the light catches, running right down the middle, and then a different coloured chevron here at the 10th, which acts as an outward facing position marker. That's nice. It would be nice if they were a little bit bolder, so I mean they're harder. These are harder to see than these on the outer binding. And then down the side we've got more of the red and black blocks, the rope, and then on this side one of them is paler, which gives you a position marker at the 7th. Oh, and another kind of pale one here which gives you another one at the 10th. So that's kind of clever. Yeah, it is very clever. I love this red and black. I just love how it catches certain lights but not others. Clever. 12 really skinny frets, and he has semi-hemi dressed the ends by hand. They're curved off, so you don't see the end of the frets. They are super smooth. Some of the tidiest fretwork I think I've ever seen on a ukulele. This is top drawer, Gustav. Really nice that. It's a bone nut, and then we have a headstock, fairly standard shape. Well, simple shape, I would say, and a stamp for the model number he's put on the top here. That's nice. More of the red and black rope binding around the top. The tuners, because I said this was a special edition, he's gone to town. GotAUPTs, as good as tuners get. Really, really smart. He's put the Tin Man's Magic Ukulele strings. That's Christopher Davis Shannon's developed string. It's fluorocarbon, pinkish coloured fluorocarbon. I understand that on a Sopranino, and Chris plays small instruments, so he'll know what works with an instrument like this. And as I say again, because this is special, the standard ones don't come with these tuners. They don't come with the binding and stuff. It's a really simple instrument, and they are less money, but they also don't get this one. He built a case. He had more of the walnut. This is made out of the same wood. This is like a piece of very, very good quality furniture. It's got the same red and black binding around the top. He's a very, very skilled woodworker, quite clearly. And this is, so it's a coffin case that is just for this instrument with a velour lining. Beautiful. What's that? Oh, this is the key ring or for the key for the lock on the case that's made to look like a shall I get that out for you, because I love stuff like this. No, I can't, the bag's sealed. No, it's not. And made to look like a fretboard. Very funny. Yeah, I mean, this is just, there's probably as much work in this case as there is in the ukulele. That's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And because that's special and that's extra, his standard Sopraninos, I believe, sorry if I get this wrong, Gustav, but I think about 350, 380 euros. It's not a lot of money anyway. This one, 585 euros. I still don't think that's a lot of money. This is made in Sweden by one person. This is a handmade instrument in the European Union, not China, not Mexico or somewhere like that. And the costs that are associated with that. But never mind the costs that are associated with it. The man hours in all of this work, this decoration, this build, these inlays, that case, those tuners. No, I don't think it's a bad price at all. In fact, I think it's actually quite cheap. This is homemade stuff. You know, think about the hours that he puts in, and then just price that up. How much would you pay a plumber for 10 hours of work or 100 hours of work? You know, there we are. Okay, we've got to play it. I'm terrible at playing Sopraninos because I have big chunky hands, and I always play them really badly on these videos, so I'm sorry, Gustav, but people will get an idea. Look, it's really, really nicely done and finished. It's a luthier instrument, so as ever, I will say that there are one or two little tooling marks here and there that you can see, finish marks that some people spotted on the macros, but, you know, this is made by hand, not finished by a robot. He's hand-rubbed finished this himself. He's finished those frets with files. It's to be expected, and in fact, I'd rather that than it looked absolutely perfect. It's light, heavier than some Sopraninos. This is 420 grams, but it is balances so nicely, and it's so comfortable because it's so small. He has got this tuned in D tuning, that is to say A, D, F sharp, B, which I will just check now, which is old soprano standard tuning that we don't see so much anymore, although you do in Europe. The German people like D tuning a lot. So it's, you know, it's higher, but it's still a relative tuning to GCEA. Oh, I'm not going to play this very well, am I? Basics first. With some Sopraninos, particularly those from the big brands, you know who you are, I find they can sound a bit dead, because you've got a small amount of real estate down here. It's much smaller than all the other ukuleles, and they can be hard to project. But then you get some luthier builds like DJ Morgan, who built that mini pineapple, and it's just incredible. And it just shows that they know what they're doing. So this one, volume-wise, it's fine, really good. Oh, I can feel it here vibrating. Yeah, it's good. Sustain, better than I expected, actually. You are never going to get loads of sustain with a Sopranino. As the scales go smaller, the sustain drops, but that's not bad at all. Fat fingers. That's fun. It's obviously a higher key to soprano, but there's a nice sound to that. Sounds woody. I'll get there in the end. accurate. There's another thing with sopraninos. The smaller you go with the scale, the harder it is to dial in intonation. And quite often they'll go off. That was me. Great. Sopraninos, they're not for everybody, but I know a lot of people really like their sopranino. And this is a nice sounding one. Wow, yeah, really, really nicely put together. Beautiful little decorations. Look how small it looks compared to me. Yeah, it's dinky, it's dinky. Made by Gustaf Wettermark near Stockholm in Sweden, under the name Bagarmossens, Bagarmossens Ukulelemanufaktur. I'll put some links to his sites and his Instas and his Facebook and whatnot in the full written review on the website. Go and check him out. This is going to be available to purchase. This one, €585, but he's a luthier build, so this is an example of his work. He can build things for you that you want him to build, I'm sure. Based on this, though, he's another one of those names that you should be keeping an eye on. There are some talented people out there, aren't there? And it's lovely that I get to look at them. Thank you very much for the loan of this one, Gustaf. I know you were worried about shipping it. It's safe. It is a wonderful thing. You're a very, very clever person, and I've had a blast having a look at this one and writing about it and telling you about it. And look at me now, rambling. You know what that means. Anyway, thank you very much for watching that long video. I will be back with you now again in a couple of weeks' time. No idea what's coming next, so let's just leave it at that. Enjoy your fortnight ahead. I will see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.